By now, you've all heard of Italian Wine Unplugged 2.0, the latest book published by Mama Jumbo Shrimp. It's more than just another wine book. The fully updated second edition was inspired by students of the Vinitaly International Academy and painstakingly reviewed and revised by an expert panel of certified Italian wine ambassadors from across the globe. The book also includes an edition by Professore Attilio Scienza, Italy's leading vine geneticist. The benchmark producers feature is a particularly important aspect of this revised edition. The selection makes it easier for our readers to get their hands on a bottle of wine that truly represents a particular grape or region. To pick up a copy, just head to Amazon.com or visit us at mamajumboshrimp.com. For all the super wine geeks out there, we have a special new series dedicated to you. We are reading excerpts from our new edition of Italian Wine Unplugged 2.0. Wine lovers, tune in for your weekly fix only on Italian Wine Podcast. If you want to own a copy of this new must-read Italian wine textbook, just go to Amazon.com or visit us at mamajumboshrimp.com.
The vines of the Northwest Piedmont. Moscato Bianco, Coccalona Nera, Bottagera, Moisson from Val di Susa, Malvasia Aromatica di Parma, Lambrusca di Alessandria, and Nebbiolo, each of which spawned other grape varieties, represent the main parents of the current varietal assortment of Northwest Italy. The presence of Orsolina was documented in the 1800s among vines in the mountains of the Apennines of Reggio Emilia, Emilia-Romagna, and it was later described by Acerbi among varieties from Brescia. The large group headed by Orsolina is a result of the meeting of varieties from northern and northwestern Italy. These include the Piedmontese Coccalona and the German Roa Traube, Moscato Nero d'Acqui, and Vespolina, Barbera and Italic Riesling, aka Welsh Riesling and Grashevina, as well as the kinship of many aromatic vines typical of northwest Italy with the offspring of Moscato Bianco, such as Malvasia Aromatica di Parma. The great botanist Giorgio Gallesio, 1772-1839, wrote, quote, Nebbiolo is a grape variety belonging to the Alps stratum surrounding Piedmont. Indelible traces remain of its ancient cultivation in many places in the foothills of the Alps, visible in the synonyms by which the vine is known and which give us clues to trace its origin. It is called Spanna in the Novara area, Prunente in the Ossola Valley, Picodentro with a tender pisciole in the lower Aosta Valley, and Chiavenasca, Ciù Vinasca, suitable for transformation into wine in Valtellina. The name Nebbiolo derives from the abundant layer of wax, bloom, pruina, that covers and protects the berries as they ripen, almost as if they were covered with fog or nebbia. However, it is from the name Spanna that the most information about its history is derived. In fact, the term is likely derived from Spionia, a vine mentioned by the Roman poet Martial that was cultivated in Roman times in the Ferrara area. Spionia takes its name from Spinus, wild blackthorn, whose bloomish fruits are covered with a thick bloom. The name Prunente, by which Nebbiolo is known in Valdossola, is also most likely derived from this origin. 4 subvarieties were known in the Langhe, Bolla, Lampia, Miquette, Rosé, which were distinguished by bunch and leaf characteristics, but above all, by the quality of the wine they produced. With DNA analysis, the subvarieties were limited to 2, the Lampia genotype, which is identical to Miquette, which has Picodentro and Chiavenasca as synonyms, and Rosé, which, in addition to color, also has very different genetic characteristics to other Nebbiolos. The differences of Nebbiolo Miquette compared to the other three Nebbiolos with which it is genetically synonymous are due to the presence of the grapevine fan leaf virus. In fact, after healing in viticultural jargon referred to as remediation, the Miquette plant takes on a completely lumpia-like appearance. Nebbiolo was first documented in 1266 near Turin.
Are you enjoying this podcast? Don't forget to visit our YouTube channel, Mama Jumbo Shrimp, for fascinating videos covering Stevie Kim and her travels across Italy and beyond, meeting winemakers, eating local foods, and taking in the scenery. Now, back to the show.
A group of 7 relatives to which Nebbiolo is genetically related has been identified, but none of these varieties is considered the parent of the grape variety. One parent said could be Vespolina and Bubbierasco. 3 of these cultivars, Fresa, Vespolina, and Bubbierasco, an ancient grape variety recovered in the Saluzzese area, are found in areas of Piedmont, but 6 others, Bressana, Brugnola, Negrera, Rossola, Rossolino Nero, and Nebbiolo Rosé, are varieties long cultivated in Valtellina, although they are uncommon or true relics. Bubbierasco turned out to be the offspring of Nebbiolo and Bianchetta di Saluzzo. Nebbiolo Rosé or Chiavennaschino, Pignola, and Rossola Nera, all vines from Valtellina, have been identified as siblings of Nebbiolo. Nebbiolo Rosé, once thought to be a subvariety of Nebbiolo, is actually a distinct variety. Siblings of Nebbiolo are Refosco Nostrano, Marzemino, Refosco dal Peduncolo Rosso, Spergola, Rossoletta, and Orsanella, all varieties from territories far removed from Piedmont. Teroldigo, a Trentino grape variety, is also a half-brother of Nebbiolo. Dolcetto, first documented in 1593 in Dogliani, is the progeny of Moissan and Dolcetto Bianco, an autonomous vine, not a color variant of Dolcetto. Moissan is native to the westernmost part of Piedmont and Liguria, while Dolcetto Bianco was grown in a more limited area in southern Piedmont. Dolcetto would therefore have originated in the present-day Langhe, where the areas of origin of the two parents overlap. Coccalona Nera, or Solina in Emilia, originates from Bottagera, and an unknown genotype that spawned some northern Apennine cultivars, such as Canaiolo Nero and Vermentino Nero. Coccalona Nera is one of the parents of Barbera, while the other is unknown and possibly extinct. The half-brothers of Barbera, offspring of Coccalona, are Uvarara, Moscato Nero d'Acqui, Vespolina, and Riesling Italico, some of which have long been cultivated in Oltrepo Pavese. The name Lambrusca di Alessandria might hint at the origin from wild vines, confirmed by some characteristics, such as disease tolerance, grape color, and tannin content, but it is genetically very far from Lambrusco. Grignolino is the offspring of an unknown genotype, which in turn is the offspring of Nebbiolo. The anthocyanin profile of the two grapes is very similar, as is that of Fresa, which is the offspring of Nebbiolo, and therefore the aunt of Grignolino. Spergola is also a variety genetically related to Nebbiolo. Spergola's growing area is the northern part of the Apennine range. However, Spergola is identical to Vernaccia di Oristano, considered a historic grape variety of Sardinia. Spergola is related to Citronino and Rapallino, two minor grapes attested in Piedmont and neighboring Liguria further confirming that Vernaccia di Oristano is not in fact of Sardinian origin. Excluded from this complex picture are some basic grape varieties of typical Piedmontese wines. These include the Pelaverga Piccola, used to produce Verduno and Favorita, or Vermentino, also documented in Piedmont in 1658 as Fermentino and Favorie, in Ovadese and Roero, respectively. It is therefore fair to think of the allochthonous origin of these cultivars and of their migration from relatively nearby places. For the Piedmontese Favorita, relations with neighboring Liguria might justify its cultivation in southern Piedmont.
Listen to the Italian Wine Podcast wherever you get your podcasts. We're on SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Himalaya FM, and more. Don't forget to subscribe and rate the show. If you enjoy listening, please consider donating through ItalianWinePodcast.com. Any amount helps cover equipment, production, and publication costs. Until next time, Cin Cin.